very good morning to all the students of class 8th. I, Miss Fatima, welcome all of you dear girls to a new class of history. Today we will continue with our chapter Civil Disobedience Movement. So let's begin. Dear girls, we will learn about the Round Table Conference. Round Table Conference. In the opinion of British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald, while the civil disobedience movement was going on, the constitutional issues regarding India should be thought over. For this purpose, he organized a conference at London. This conference is known as Round Table Conference. In the period between 1930 to 1932, 3 Round Table Conferences were organized. So, dear students, we see that the Prime Minister of Britain, Ramsay MacDonald, was the chairman of the Round Table Conference, and he was of the opinion that while the civil disobedience movement is in its full form in India, it is important to reconsider the various issues and to reframe the constitution. And with that promise began the first Round Table Conference. Dear students, there were 3 Round Table Conferences which were held between the year 1930 to 1932. And all of the conferences were held in London. The first Round Table Conference. Dear students, in this paragraph you will see who were the participants in the first Round Table Conference, what were the discussions and deliberations that happened in this conference, and which party was not present in the conference. So let us begin reading. Ramsay MacDonald was the chairman of the Round Table Conference. Representatives of England and India participated in the conference. These included Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Sir Tej Bahadur Sapru, Barrister Jinnah, etc. In the conference, there were discussions on various topics such as responsible government at central level, establishment of federal state in India, etc. Representatives of different political parties in India and rulers of princely states participated in the conference. However, the Indian National Congress did not participate in it. The Indian National Congress was a body that represented the country. Without its participation, the deliberations in the Round Table Conference were indeed meaningless. So, dear students, as I told you, that Ramsay MacDonald, the Prime Minister of Britain, was the chairperson of the Round Table Conferences, and there were many representatives of India and England that participated in the Round Table Conference. The well-known names in this conference were of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Sir Tej Bahadur Sapru, Barrister Jinnah. And in this conference there were discussions about responsible government, how the British government could become a better and more responsible government. And the next thing was, how could India become a federal country? So these were the discussions in the Roundtable Conference. Also, it saw the participation of the rulers of princely states. But Indian National Congress, which was considered as the representative body of India, was not present in this conference. The reason being that many of its well-known leaders and even Mahatma Gandhi was captured by the Britishers and put into prison. So, to show their unhappiness towards this form of atrocity, they refrained from being a part of the conference. The Gandhi-Irwin Pact. The British Prime Minister expressed his hope of participation of Indian National Congress in the second round table conference. In view of the appeal made by the Prime Minister, the Viceroy released Mahatma Gandhi and other leaders from prison. Thus, a conducive atmosphere was created for the Congress to discuss the issues freely. A pact was signed between Mahatma Gandhi and the Viceroy Irwin, which is known as the Gandhi-Irwin Pact. According to this pact, the British government assured that the system of responsible government would be added in the proposed Constitution of India. Consequently, Indian National Congress withdrew the civil disobedience movement and agreed to attend the Round Table Conference. So dear students, Ramsay MacDonald, the Prime Minister of Britain, realized that without the participation of the members of Indian National Congress, all the deliberations that happened in the conference were meaningless. So he expressed a desire that the Indian National Congress should also participate in the conference. And therefore, the Viceroy of India, Mr. Irwin, was forced to release the national leaders of the Indian National Congress. And there was a pact which was signed between Mahatma Gandhi and Viceroy Irwin. And the pact was that the British government would become a more responsible government. But for that, Mahatma Gandhi had to put an end to the civil disobedience movement that had spread across the entire country. And after the pact was signed, Mahatma Gandhi and the other leaders of Indian National Congress agreed to be a part of the Round Table Conference, the Second Round Table Conference. In 1931, the Second Round Table Conference was organized. Mahatma Gandhi attended this conference as a representative of the Indian National Congress. Along with the Indian National Congress, representatives of various caste and communities, political parties, as well as princely states were invited. The government put forth the issue of minorities in the Round Table Conference. There were differences regarding this issue and also regarding the nature of the prospective federal constitution. Gandhiji tried to bring unanimity in the opinion but was unsuccessful. Finally, Gandhiji became disappointed and returned back to India. So, dear students, the second roundtable conference was held in the year 1931, and Mahatma Gandhi himself attended the conference in London. He was the representative of the Indian National Congress. Along with Mahatma Gandhi, there were other representatives from India. In the second roundtable conference as well, there was a lot of deliberation, and the government put forth the issue of minorities in the roundtable conferences, and also the perspective of a federal constitution. Gandhiji tried to bring all the parties on the same page, and he wanted to push the issue of a federal government and make it a reality. But the Britishers were not agreeing to his point of view. Realizing that they were not going to agree, he felt that the round table conference was a futile effort, and therefore he became disappointed and came back to India. The Pune Pact. So dear girls, what is the Pune Pact? Who signed the Pune Pact? We will learn about it in this particular paragraph. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar represented the Dalits in the Round Table Conference. He demanded separate electorates for the Dalits. After the second Round Table Conference, the British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald declared communal awards. According to it, Dalits were given separate electorates. Gandhiji went on fast unto death at Yerwada jail, protesting against the granting of separate electorate on the basis of caste. The leaders of Indian National Congress requested Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar to reconsider the demand for separate electorates. Keeping in mind the interest of the nation, Dr. Ambedkar was ready to accept this request. In 1932, Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar signed the famous Pune Pact. According to this pact, separate electorates for the Dalits was cancelled and a provision for reserved seats was made. So dear students, the Pune Pact was signed between Dr. Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi. As we all know that Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was a very well known and well regarded by the minorities, as he fought for their rights. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar put the issue of minorities in the Round Table Conference, and he was of the opinion that they should be given separate electorates. Okay, he demanded separate electorates for the Dalits. And after the second Round Table Conference, the British Prime Minister agreed to it. Along with that, he also declared that there would be communal awards that would be given to the people who deserved it. But Mahatma Gandhi felt that it was not in the best interest of the country that separate electorates be given on the basis of caste. And as a sign of protest, Gandhiji went on fast onto death at Yedwada jail. Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar realized that it was in the best interest of the country that he agreed to Mahatma Gandhi, and as his show of agreement, there was a pact that was signed in the year 1932, and it is known as the Pune Pact, wherein separate electorates for Dalits were removed, and in place of that, provisions were made for reserve seats. The Third Round Table Conference. In November 1932, the Third Round Table Conference was organized in England. The Indian National Congress boycotted the conference. Thus, this conference proved to be futile. Dear students, Mahatma Gandhi had already participated in the Second Round Table Conference, and through his experience in that conference, he understood that the Britishers were not ready to really give away their powers to the people of India, and he came back disappointed. Therefore, the Indian National Congress did not participate in the Third Round Table Conference, and because they did not participate, just like the First Round Table Conference, all the deliberations that happened in the Third Round Table Conference were futile. That means they were meaningless. Now came the second wave or the second phase of the civil disobedience movement. Now, dear students, why is it written as second phase of the civil disobedience movement? When Gandhiji was flying to London for the Second Round Table Conference, there was a pact which was signed with Gandhiji that was known as the Gandhi-Irwin Pact, and he had to withdraw the civil disobedience movement. So the first phase of the civil disobedience came to an end, and now came the second phase of the civil disobedience movement. Gandhiji returned to India from the Second Round Table Conference with a dejected mind. He was very upset that all that he had planned, and he thought that now was the time that the Britishers would give the power to India, was not so, and therefore he was very upset. He decided to restart the civil disobedience movement. Gandhiji was immediately arrested. The Britishers sensed that again Gandhiji would create unrest in India, and they could not run his policy. They could not run their policy smoothly with the existence of this movement. So what they did was they immediately arrested Mahatma Gandhi. Hence there was discontent among the people. The people, the followers of Gandhiji, were very upset by the move of the government. Government responded to this movement by using inhuman oppressive methods. There was strangling of civic rights everywhere. The Indian National Congress and its associated institutions were declared illegal. Restrictions were levied on national newspaper and literature. Finally, in April 1934, Gandhiji withdrew the movement, and the historic phase of civil disobedience movement came to an end. Dear students, in retaliation of the anger that the people had towards the Britishers, towards the government, they responded with more aggression towards the people. And they started using all forms of inhuman oppressive methods. They were strangling the civic rights everywhere. The basic rights of the people were denied to them. And the Indian National Congress and its associate institutions were now declared illegal. Every activity that came under the Indian National Congress was now termed as illegal. They could not even, the members of the Indian National Congress could not even move freely or even call themselves as the members of the party, because they were now termed as illegal. Therefore, they were attacked from all sides by the government. Also, free speech was no more free, because there were restrictions that were levied on the national newspaper and literature. The freedom fighters, who wanted to express themselves through the medium of writing, could not do so anymore. So finally, in the year 1934, month of April, Gandhiji withdrew the movement and the historic phase of the civil disobedience movement came to an end. So again we see that Gandhiji felt that it was in the best interest of his country that he withdraw this movement, because the government was pressurizing and creating so much unrest in the country, and that was not something that Gandhiji wanted from this movement, and therefore he withdrew this movement, which is the civil disobedience movement. Dear girls, with this we complete this chapter. When we meet next, we will begin with a new chapter. Until then, take care and have a good day. Thank you.